What's good? What's good? We're back. Another episode of Wideout Wednesdays. I think it's episode 22.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to be back, man.
Yep, it's been a little minute, but we back.
Yes, sir.
Got the crew
Yes,
back. Had some wedding shenanigans and travel
You feel
and
me
all
here,
that. Yep. So,
man.
congrats, homie. That was
Appreciate it.
it's definitely good. Get the gang together and watch you do your thing up there. So congrats to
Yeah.
you and the missus. But yeah, I'm glad to be back, man.
Now we can talk some ball, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. No, most definitely. Since the last time we talked, obviously, a lot of things going on. Obviously, the Route Runners manual is out. Definitely go get that. We'll put the link in the description. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, a lot of y'all in the dead period right now. So we got sessions going, making sure y'all fine tuned and getting ready to go. So definitely tap in with that. In season program is coming soon. So get
Yeah.
ready for that. Be on the lookout to get tapped in with us in season, making sure we're staying up to our mechanics, making sure we're fine tuned on Sundays and recovering. So be on the lookout for that as well. But yeah, I think that's it for the most part. So any other housekeeping stuff or updates?
Yeah. WideOutFlix, bro. I mean, we about to get
Yeah,
into it. We about to show them some clips that you already got uploaded and some one of the
yeah,
many breakdowns that you got on there. But
yeah,
yes, if you're not tapped into that, tap into that. Sure.
yeah. No, I'll definitely get in with that. We'll put that link there too. $25 a month, man. Like we still running that special, so
Yeah.
definitely go get that. We uploading every week. We'll get into some stuff today. Definitely talking about I think one of the most dynamic wideouts in the league right now. It's funny because I was always not opposed to him, but I was just like, I think he was all that. And then
Mhm.
watching him last year and talking about him a little bit, a couple episodes before, and watching this tape, man, he the real deal. He earned that money. So
For sure.
I
For
I
sure.
gotta tip my hat. But yeah, we'll get into it. But definitely talking about Christian Kirk today. I'm gonna pull this up on y'all screen. Obviously, I'm recording it right now, but I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. Give y'all a second to get your notepads out and all that.
Yeah.
Let's see, make sure my thing is recording. So I think it's recording, but I might have to do it on not full screen view. It's not gonna let me do it like that. Do it like this. But yeah, make sure you get your notepads out. It's gonna be some good stuff in here.
For sure. Some intricate details too. That's what I always love looking at some of these NFL guys. Like you always see them make the big plays and stuff, but it's not until you like really go break down some of their stuff that you realize like how well they do the little things. We always see like the big plays and all that kind of stuff, but
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
always nice to kind of see that man, these guys are really like they're crafting their game for sure.
man, no, that's a fact. But with further ado, we got it up now, so you should see it on the screen. But it's Christian Kirk, man. He's lethal, dynamic, speedy, short guy, powerful. He does all the little things right, like you were saying. This first clip here, just a basic, running a deep post, leaning to the outside, giving him a little nod, and just finishing with speed. It's just super dynamic, man. Not anything special. He really is giving these DBs so much vertical presence that it's like you really can't, you got to get out and run. You can't pedal for that long with this dude. And he makes this corner pay just with a slight little nod to the outside. And you'll see in some of these clips, like he uses this same move a bunch to create separation. But this is just, this is his staple right here.
Yeah. He does a good job. Sometimes on these nod routes, people overdo it or do too much, but he already knows that he's inside, condensed a little bit, corners outside. He just does a good job just leaning just a little bit and then just running away from the defender and going and scoring. A lot of these plays, he's taking it to the distance, 60 yards, 50 yards, 40 yards. So
Yeah,
uh,
for sure.
if you're a slot guy, you got to be able to go take it over top too.
No, that's a fact, bro. Like people always ask, like, what do I got to do to get more targets or get the offers or whatever it may be. It's like stuff like this where you're taking, you know, obviously you can take the post to the distance, but taking short stuff, screens, hitches,
Hmm.
slants, take that to distance. But yeah, no, this next one here is an example of that. Let's you talk about
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, got a little middle screen right here. No matter like how you really block it, screens are all the same. You're gonna have somebody coming to kick out. He does a good job of knowing that and getting inside that tackle's block right there, and then doing a good job of getting hash number sideline. So if you don't really know what that is, it's kind of if you get the ball in the hash, you want to aim towards the hash, then get back out to the numbers, and then get towards that sideline, just like he does right here, and go score. Sometimes guys want to get those screens and they want to, like you always see in Little League, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, and they end up taking it all the way across the field and stuff. And
Yep. Get
sometimes that
north.
works. I ain't gonna lie. There's some dudes that sometimes that works, but for the most part, get in the screen and then get back out and then go score. So
Yep. And you ask any OC, he gonna be happy with 5-6 yards on this.
oh,
But
for sure.
like I said, if you can pierce it and take it the distance, that's cherry on top.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of guys don't realize what screens are for. Like it's extension of the run game. Like we're trying to get numbers on the outside without doing a toss sweep or something like that. But this is gold, man. Like if you can make one dude miss and like you said, hash number sideline, more opportunities coming your way.
Yeah. And that's where that open field track speed, all that kind of stuff comes into hand right
That's
there.
a fact. Yep. Moving on to this next one here in the red zone goal line. It's a nice little, hezzy fake to the outside. A nice little hesitation, avoiding contact, making the catch, getting across the pylon. This is your game right here, ain't it?
Oh yeah, right here. I love this too because he knows. Here's another thing. He knows when he's supposed to get open because Tyler has to sit there and make a whole play fake and then kind of do a little half boot. So if he would have come out there and shake him too early, then DB probably would have made up for it. But he does a good job, kind of just being hesitant, being sudden. That's the biggest thing. That when you get down here, just be sudden at the top of that route.
Yeah, and me personally, like I don't like the pad level, but I mean, when these dudes are professionals, like they know every little nuance and detail of their opponent. So like obviously like it worked. So like can't really say much about it. But for you guys that are watching that aren't at this level yet, like just take everything that you watch professionals do like with a grain of salt. Like yeah, they can do it. Doesn't mean that it applies necessarily to your game. It could, but probably 7-8 times out of 10, like probably not. But just understanding like when hands are going to get shot and being able to avoid that. It's like he got his hands ready. He knocks the hand down. Boom, I get to my spot.
Because honestly, the DB, his coach is probably telling him, "Hey, get hands on. Like you can't just sit there and let that dude just do whatever he wants to right there." So
yeah,
it's a good point there.
Yeah, this one versus the Cowboys. There's another staple.
Yep. Let me go back to that vertical pressure, man. It's just killer.
Yep.
Killer. And then also lay hands, going and tracking the ball. He does a really good job of tracking the ball. I wonder if he played baseball at all growing up, but
yeah, he probably did.
Yeah.
I'd be getting on the baseball guys too, man. I'd be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Summertime. It's football. It's football time. You got no baseball games. Y'all know who I'm talking to. Y'all watching.
I feel like baseball's good when you're young, and then you gotta come on over to football. But no, I'm playing.
Man.
But it definitely helps, though. I definitely think it helps. He does a good job running, tracking it, not slowing his body down, shooting his hands out late. Good balance right there, and like we said, like we see a lot of touchdowns on this clip.
Yeah, and it's like DBs are watching this film, like, all right, like I can't get beat deep with this dude, and that opens up like obviously. Well, there's some more clips on here of some intermediate short routes. Obviously, we saw the out route in the goal line, but just even having that threat, like it makes your route running that much easier. This next one here, first the Dolphins, another deep ball. We'll skip this one. You only can't see the route on this one, but just emphasizing that, man. Like if you can make money on this, it just makes your game that much easier. But here we are versus the Titans, versus squad, unfortunately. But good release off the line. Getting the shoulder down, getting through there, not getting held up, but leaning on it. Almost a little slight rocker step at the top.
Yeah, he does a good job of he gets an outside release on that corner. So some guys will get pushed too wide. He does a pretty good job of getting back vertical and then kind of resetting that stem real quick at the top, so that leaves the quarterback all that room.
Yep. And then this tracking job, like you said, hadn't been playing baseball before. I might look that up and see, because
Yeah.
this is a tough catch, like directly over your head. It's 12 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm sure the
Man.
sun is somewhere right there. Like, that's a tough catch.
Yep.
But that's why that's why he got paid the big bucks.
But he'd have dropped it. Everybody been boo. You know what I mean? So they don't care about the sun and all that. We know how hard the catch is, but you still got to make it.
Yeah, but yeah, just smooth all the way around. Obviously, still somewhat of a deep ball here, even though you kind of compressed, but you know in the stem, making the most of it, and creating that separation, like you said too.
For sure.
And then finishing obviously at the catch point. This next one, another one versus the Titans.
Dang, really?
Killing us, man.
Yeah,
It went off that day.
man, this right here is a good 3rd and 4 in the red zone. It's high money situation. You got to make a play. Runs a little inside fade. Really, he's not. I mean, he's not open. DB does a good job, but he does a good job of keeping his shoulders square for a while, so that,
Mm-hmm.
the corner doesn't really, the nickel doesn't know where the ball's coming. And last second, he kind of opens that hips up, gets his feet down, touchdown.
Yeah, late hands. You've been preaching that the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Of just having late hands. Like, DBs are taught, once they see the big eyes, they see the hand shoot, they're trying to play that ball right through your hands. You see Byard actually gets a hand in there, but you pull that thing off the tree the last second. Like, that's a hard ass for a nickel, to cover and get a hand in there. But just overall, like again, like nothing crazy, but making the most of his opportunities.
I think it's big too. Like, this is a jump ball. This is what this is right here. And
Yep.
for a small guy to be able to go win jump balls, I mean, like, that's what you got to be able to do. You can't just be like, well, I'm just a slot guy. I'm just going to stay in between the numbers and all that, or in between the hashes. Sometimes you got to go out there and go make a play.
Yep. Easy money. Well, I don't want to say easy, but he make it look like easy money. Cowboys again. Cowboys fans ain't happy, but he tore y'all up too. But I posted this one on the page. You guys might have seen this one, but the half step release to the wheel, obviously versus man coverage. And this is just textbook. Good tempo, closing the space, attacking vertical, and then once again, I'm getting over top of that defender just a little bit, and then late hands, tracking it over the shoulder, and creating that ball man relationship. So balls on the outside, he's in the middle, defenders on the inside, and he's identifying where that safety is too, staying away from him, getting to the numbers. That's the biggest thing. The difference between fade, like just regular go balls, and like slot fades, just understanding like you're running that route obviously off the man, but off the safeties too, and knowing where they at pre-snap. And obviously your quarterback, that's a little bit on him, but just knowing where your spot is on slot fades is, it's a big difference for sure. But this is a great first down catch. Keep the chains moving, explosive play. That's what the OC wants.
No doubt. Because if you get cover 0 at this right here, since he won so bad off the line, you may be looking for more of a ball like over the shoulder, down the field. But he knows that safety's coming over top. Like, he sees that safety, so he knows the ball is going to be kind of more of a hole shot. So he gets his head around and makes a quick catch. So just a lot of little nuances he does well, man.
Yeah, smooth too off the line.
Yeah, closing that distance, that handshake distance that we always talk about, not being too far away from the guy, because the DB kind of played that soft shuffle technique.
Yeah. This next one here versus the Redskins, or not the Redskins, the Commanders now.
Yeah,
the staple.
There it is. I just like it. He doesn't slow down whenever he's going on that, when he leans on it. He's still keeping that pressure. So the DB, he's trying to open his hip up to the out route. Now he's going deep, tracks it. Dang, almost scored.
Yeah. I know there's I think they were playing the chart. I should put it on here. But he actually he runs the out, and you'll see like the two routes, like he runs the out and he runs this, they look the exact same pre-break, which is something I preach a lot too, is like make your routes look the same. I want to say last week we were talking about this exact thing, like working spray stems into all your routes. So working the spray into the glance, working the spray into the deep post, spray into the out, spray into the curl. spraying to the dig, making it all look the same. You can do that with, whether you're spraying, whether you're getting off the line straight, whether you're dive releasing it. Talk about that a lot in the route runners manual, actually, in chapter 3. So definitely grab that if you ain't got it yet. But if you can make your routes look the same, and like you said, keeping that speed, ain't nobody gonna be able to mess with you, man.
Nope. Little thing too right here, this arm bar, like any kind of time you're running a double move or like a lean post, or you got to be expecting the DB to hold, because that's really his only option there at the end.
Yeah.
So he does a good job, just quick arm bar. He doesn't spend a whole bunch of time and trying to shove and everything. He just quick swipes it down and then just gets back into his arm pump. So
Yeah.
that's smooth right there.
And another thing too, like I'm noticing, like looking at this too, obviously the NFL dimensions are a little bit different than high school, college, but you can tell when this ball gets thrown, it's outside the hash. He kind of has to get back vertical for it. But just understanding the difference between, am I running a fat post, or am I running a skinny, more vertical type post, to the near post versus the opposite, or even opposite pylon. Because it's harder to try to adjust like he did to get back, vertical to it versus like adjusting, across the field to it. Just understanding that angle you're trying to get. And obviously, like, he had a defender in the way. He tried to lean it as much as he could to, get to that spot. But I see a lot of guys, they take their post too fat, and then quarterback throws you back, vertical over your head. Now you got to track it over your shoulder like an outfielder, which is tough. So it's like set yourself up for success in your aiming points.
Yeah, because that could have been a touchdown maybe if he would have, like you said, there's a defender in the way, but maybe he keeps a little bit more skinny. He can catch that ball running.
Yeah,
The head, he might have scored.
for sure. But first down,
Yeah.
take it. Yeah, this next one out the backfield, versatile, man.
Yeah. Really just showing, man, like the more stuff you can do, the more you can show coaches you can make plays, then they're just going to find ways to get you the ball. So they
Yeah,
might stick you in the backfield and have you run against a slow linebacker. So
exactly. And something that I want to like really, I guess, not preach on, but just let wideouts know is like, he's not running any crazy routes. Like, it's just basic. I done seen a wheel, post, screen, wheel from the backfield, fade ball. Like, he's not doing anything crazy, and they don't ask him. They don't ask you to run, all these crazy routes. Like, if you can run the basic route tree, sell vertical, get in and out your breaks, finish catches, get yak, the car's gonna fall where they may. Like, you control what you can control. And then whether you're a D1 guy or a D2 guy or NFL guy or whatever, like, the car's gonna, that's gonna fall where they may. But at least I control what I could control, which is, winning at the line of scrimmage, winning at the break point, and winning at the catch point and getting yak. But these dudes aren't professionals for no reason. Like, they mastered the basic fundamentals, and then obviously, like, you can get nuanced once you get to that level, because everyone is fundamentally sound. So there's got to be a little different, slightly different things you do, but for the most part, like, you're just using the skill sets that you've done over and over and over and over again, versus elite talent at the elite level. So I want to put that out there. As we're watching this too, it's like, there's nothing super special that he's doing, and he runs a 4.47, which is not, not nothing crazy. I mean, it's fast, but it's not.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not slow. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's definitely faster dudes out there than him that aren't able to go as deep, and what I mean, sell the illusion of go and do all the things that that he does so well.
Yep. Another arm bar too.
Yeah.
See contact, avoid.
Yeah, in the slot, you got to get really good at that. You got to be able to get it, a good high arm bar to swipe them off, and also a low arm bar, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of secondary releases, running on linebackers, running on safeties, and stuff like that. So you got to be good with your hands just as much as you are with your feet.
Yeah, and then on the catch point too, it's a little short, so he kind of jumps back to it.
Yeah.
But finish the play, touchdown. I think that was in the playoffs too.
Man. Does a good job attacking half a man, not just running right down the middle of them, kind of shaking them a little bit. Yeah. Like you said, I would have wanted him to come back and get that ball, but hey, can't do everything perfect.
Yep.
And then today it counts for 6 points. So
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. Got the Chargers here on this next one. I'll let you take this one.
oh shoot, that was the one I was even talking about right here. Yeah, this is the one. That's the one I was saying. My fault.
No, you
Uh,
good.
yeah, so right here, like you'd want him to come back to this ball right here, but he does a good job, working half a man, kind of gives him a little 1-2 at the top rocker step, and then comes back downhill, and then like you said, just finds a way to make a play.
Yep.
Um, Probably would want to not basket catch it, but I think he knew the defender was on his back, so he kind of was just shielding him off and just let the ball fall where it was. So that was, a good little technique right there as well, though.
Yep. So what's that for you? I know I say it all the time, but what is the technique that you would prefer him catching this ball?
So I would prefer him getting that upfield shoulder, so that left shoulder in this picture, kind of turning it back more towards the quarterback, and then turning his hands where his thumbs and his index fingers are together, and reaching out and extending to get the football. Versus here, he kind of has his pinkies together, and it's more like an over the shoulder catch. But I think right here, this would be a good instance where you could really just body that ball up, strong hands, and then rip that ball away from the defender.
Yeah, so I got that freeze frame right here, man. The defender's hand is so close to getting this tipped.
Yeah.
So it's like if the quarterback isn't perfect, like you just sold yourself a you sold a PBU to the defender instead of a touchdown to yourself.
Mm-hmm. And even then, when you come back and attack the ball too, you're probably gonna be more likely to get a pass interference call versus if you're kind of just fading and he kind of hits you and you keep running, they're not gonna be as likely to give you that call. So
yeah,
it's always good just to attack the football, frame it up, go get it.
Yeah. Touchdown though.
Yeah. Another thing too, he does a good job. He probably could have pushed it maybe like a half a yard deeper. He does a good job when you get down here on the red zone and you're running any kind of corner routes, out routes, things of those sorts. You want to get a yard or two into the red zone. Usually, I always tell my guys to get to the bottom of the letters right there, so the bottom of that S. He's kind of like a yard short, but that way the DB doesn't have enough angle to even come down and tip this ball. I think if he'd have taken this maybe just a half a yard, maybe a yard deeper, he would have been wide open. DB wouldn't even had a chance to come down and almost tip this ball away.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a good point.
Yeah.
This next one here, same route. Take this one a little bit short too. Same route.
Yeah.
But go back to, a staple route. Obviously in the red zone, it's a little shorter, but still giving that lean to the outside. Sell where you want to go first. Make him think he did his job. Boom, when they cover this post ball, I don't want to get beat inside. And then I'm sticking back to the corner. And this one, you get some hands out in front, like you were saying. But I think this is a little bit different just because it's, he's giving them that same lean to the outside, even though it's a little bit shorter. Just that threat of, damn, he could cross my face. And he's done it on film, the last couple of weeks. And in the red zone, I mean, DBs are taught, like, don't get beat, cross your face. So that little nuance right there creates that much more separation for him. Easy catch. It's just, it's backyard.
But it's good, like you're saying, he matches up his routes, Like we watched him catch like five touchdowns on that same lean post or whatever.
Yep.
So he knows that. Now he's like, I'm going to get him and sauce him up. But yeah, I mentioned it earlier. He's just so sudden. Like, even if you don't run the perfect technique, if you're really sudden and you drop your hips, you got violent hips and you're getting separation, like, you're probably going to win more times than not.
Yep.
Just being sudden at the top of the route is just key, especially down there in the red zone.
Yep, and he's making sure too, like he's not outside of his frame, not too far. Everything is in this natural, frame and fluid. That creates the most power and burst out of each step he's getting.
I'm about to say that. That's where your power comes from. You got to keep it inside your frame.
Yeah.
Some people think, oh, I sauced them up. Like, man, but you didn't have no power coming out of it.
Nope. Man, no power. And DB, they driving on stuff. So it's like, if you don't come out with power, they are.
Yeah.
Most 8 times out of 10. So you got to be able to separate from your break. Like when you run in the post break, corner breaks, speed outs, digs, glances, like I want to, that step that I take when I'm bursting into the route, that needs to be the step that, keeps my speed going, or it propels me from a stop, to where the ball's going, because that's what the DB's backpedaling, putting that foot in the ground, and he's going to that, the hip, upfield, shoulder, wherever he's taught to go, jump the route or make the PBU. So we got to be the same thing at wideout. Like that foot, that plant step we got to take, it's got to be powerful, explosive, and get us where you want to go. But back to the top.
Hey, before we leave, I forgot you said one thing we got to plug in, man. You got the new gear, bro. Tell everybody,
Yeah.
What's some things you got online on,
Yeah, so obviously we got the hats.
Yeah.
We got the pullovers. We got the infamous hoodie cutoff sleeves that folks wear under their pads.
Yeah.
The short sleeve cutoff version, the long sleeve version, t-shirts, long sleeves, backpack. So anything that you need is there. So we'll put the link in here too. If you follow us on Twitter, we post it on Twitter as well and on Instagram. So definitely follow us there at the Wideout Crew. But we'll put the links down here too, so y'all can cop
and tag us in your stuff, man. I know y'all gonna be wearing it, y'all gonna be representing and stuff. So shoot us a tag, man. Show us some love.
Nah, for sure. Do that for sure. But definitely hope y'all got some game from this, and definitely tap in on WideOutFlix, and all this stuff is on here. So that's our thing right now, is with our group right now, is our daily commitment, man. It's 30 minutes of film a day, 50 catches a day. I don't care if it's tennis ball, golf ball, football, 50 catches a day. I don't care what it is. Just getting that repetition. Obviously with the film, it's getting that game IQ, studying like this, watching watching not only cut ups like this, but watching defenses, watching run game, watch pass game, watch it all, so you understand what's going on. And you're a high level, IQ football player, not just a athlete, or I'm not just a dude out there that catches passes. So that's been our daily commitment challenge right now for the guys. But if y'all want to start doing that, definitely do that too. Simple things make big differences. That's my whole philosophy. So
yeah, and we're gonna have the results too. We've been keeping up with it and everything. So I think there's gonna be a correlation to the guys that are tapped in and have close to those high hundreds.
I'm already seeing it.
Yeah, you see the the results, man. So it just, I'm excited. Like I said, the proof's gonna be in the pudding in the fall. So
so definitely do that. 30 minutes in the film room, 50 catches a day, and that's the minimum. You can do more. You can do more than 30 minutes. You can do more than 50, but that's the bare minimum if you want to be, a D1 athlete or NFL, whatever your goal is. You gotta do the bare minimum, and that's what those guys that made it, they did extra things. And not talking about your 50 catches don't count during practice. They don't count during workouts. Your film doesn't count during practice time. It's got to be outside of that. You have to do more than what's required. And that's the whole reason we started that, to get the guys to understand, you're going to workouts, you're practicing, you're training with us, but you got to do more. So
one more thing on that. There's a difference in doing 50 catches a day and then trying to do, maybe, I don't know what, my math's bad, but whatever, and 250 catches in one day, and then not doing something the rest of the week. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not the same. There's something to being consistent and doing little work every single day. You can't just try to watch film in 3.5 hours one day a week and then think you're gonna be good. Get on there every day, so your mind's constantly working, getting better, fine tuning little stuff. So consistency in little things is better than just trying to hit it hard one time. You're not gonna see the same results. So that's a little tidbit there.
Oh, that's a good point, man, for sure. Consistency wins.
Facts.
So, but no, definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. Episode 22. We'll be back next week for episode 23. Some guests coming. We ain't had one in a while, but some more guests coming to talk some game to y'all. So definitely stay tapped in and let us know what y'all want to hear too. So
for sure. Till next time. See y'all next week.
Peace.